Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Tech Stocks Daily Podcast. Buckle up because we're diving into a whirlwind of tech drama and triumph. Today we'll explore how Magnite is taking the stage at the Needham Growth Conference with exciting global expansions. Meanwhile, Meta dances through a regulatory storm with eye-popping fines while still flaunting an 80% stock surge. Of course, we're unwrapping Apple's financial prospects and unraveling their tangled mineral allegations from the DRC. Plus, TD Bank's in hot water with massive fines tied to money laundering allegations. Whether you're here for trading insights or just the thrill of tech intrigue, we've got you covered. Hey tech enthusiasts, let's dive into the buzzing world of Magnite. This independent sell-side advertising powerhouse, trading under NASDAQ MGNI, has more than one exciting announcement today, making them our spotlight topic. First up, Magnite is trading headlines for its involvement in the Needham 27th Annual Growth Conference, slated for January 15th. They've got big plans and even bigger presentations lined up. Members of their executive team will be actively participating in investor meetings, alongside a highly anticipated fireside chat. Now, if you're thinking, I'd love a front row seat, but can't make it to NYC, well, you're in luck. The fireside chat will also be live streamed and available in replay for 90 days. Perfect for tech fanatics who love tuning into these insightful discussions at their leisure. But wait, there's more. Magnite is also making headways with its impressive expansion of Magnite audiences into India and Southeast Asia. This library of audience activation solutions promises to allow publishers to elevate their content by effectively reaching and monetizing high-value audiences. The expansion story isn't just a game changer for Magnite, but also for publishers eyeing to leverage first-party data. Talk about setting the global stage ablaze. With its Magnite Audiences tool, publishers can tap into scaled, standardized segments that are built on first-party data. These segments, designed to maximize campaign goals, include categories such as interest, demographics, purchase intent, and more. It's a profound model fostering valuable reach without compromising the premium, trustworthy nature of data. Why is that important, you ask? Well, according to Dinesh Joshi from NDTV, it's about unlocking new revenue streams, precisely targeting advertisers, and bettering user experiences. A triple threat of benefits. This ringing endorsement signals a promising future, with Indian and Southeast Asian markets ready to embrace Magnite's tools with arms wide open. Interactive Avenue's Harish Iyer is on board too, expressing sheer elation at the new prospects of curating ad inventories aligned with clients' needs. That's a lot of confidence in the ability of Magnite audiences to drive impactful results, isn't it? Gavin Buxton from Magnite really hits the nail on the head, emphasizing the need for new approaches in today's changing digital identity landscape. He's advocating for buyer and publisher solutions that are future-ready and expansive. This readiness is what Magnite Audiences offers, presenting untapped potential within these burgeoning markets. Magnite's announcements today showcase a company with ambitions to innovate and influence on a global scale. Whether you are an investor, publisher, or part of the advertising ecosystem, it's clear. Magnite is a pivotal player you'll want to keep an eye on. Welcome to today's Tech Buzz Breakdown, where we dive deep into Meta Platform's recent brewing storm on the tech front. Put on your virtual reality helmets, folks, because Meta's making waves. First up, it seems like the big players, or what we affectionately call whales in the investor ocean, are making a splash with Meta's options. We witnessed a rather balanced ballet of bullish and bearish expectations, with jump rope high amounts signaling confidence amid uncertainties. With 36% big spenders leaning bullish and another 36% playing around with bearish specs, the narrative is anything but dull. Over the past few months, Meta appears to have tightrope walked a trading volume band stretching from just $5 to a sky-high $11.90. Reflection over a steaming cup of data-driven tea hints that options trading could supply insights greater than your daily coffee fix, if done right. But as we pivot to regulatory remonstrations, Meta hit an EU watchdog wall with a staggering $264 million fine due to a 2018 debacle. Flashbacks to elemental breaches in Facebook's immunity when unauthorized mischief makers gained access to loads of data, including full names, emails, and phone numbers, got Meta where it hurts, the wallet. The Irish Data Protection Commission wrapped Meta for their merry-go-round of dubious data handling. Yet again, privacy sins from the past led the hammer of EU privacy regulations to clang down, signaling Meta must keep its tech corridor free of any loose ends, especially with years-old GDPR blinking red on their radar. Don't flip that news page yet. Across continents, Australia chimed in with a legal symphony of its own. Meta agreed to dish out $32 million over privacy glitches linked to the notorious Cambridge Analytica breach. The Australian Privacy Commissioner labeled this settlement as their largest ever payment, soothing concerns that tech titans must tread carefully along the data ethics spectrum. Despite these legal hurdles, Meta still struts on Wall Street like it's modeling the tech world's shiniest armor, with its stock surging a noteworthy 80% year-to-date. Fueling much of this CTR-supported runway action is its AI-infused advertising pivot, lauded by analysts as an AI story. Well worth watching. So there you go. Different time zones, different bones to pick, but one clear topic of our tech world today: Meta's dazzling yet daunting dance with options and regulations. As always, handle this info like it's laced with nitroglycerin if you're pondering investments. Apple, the tech giant that never seems to take a day off from dominating headlines. Today, Apple finds itself in the spotlight for three different but compelling stories: financial analysis, dividend strategies, and an international conflict minerals dilemma. Let's dive in. First up on the Apple News buffet is a juicy piece of financial analysis. While everyone loves an iPhone upgrade, the real stars today are Apple's financial metrics. Comparing Apple to its industry peers in technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals, the company comes out swinging with a return on equity a solid 15.8% above the average, showcasing its financial efficiency. Apple is flaunting a sweet $32.5 billion or EBITDA and a gross profit of $43.88 billion, which is leagues above many competitors. But don't pop the bubbly just yet. Their revenue growth of 6.07% is, believe it or not, a turtle compared to the industry hair, especially when talking about the sector's average of 166.6%. Still, a moderate debt-to-equity ratio and some seriously golden financial returns keep investors hopeful and engaged. Next, if you're dreaming of passive income streams that'll keep you sipping pina coladas indefinitely, consider the dividend strategy angle. JP Morgan's Samik Chatterjee updated investors on Apple's future, hinting at fun iPhone-related upgrades and AI-powered goodies on the horizon. Want to cash in on Apple's 25 quarterly dividend? You'll need about $1,506,240 worth of Apple stock to earn a cool $500 monthly. That's a hefty chunk of change, but hey, long-term buffs insist on Apple being a viable investment. AI upgrades are not. Peel back another news layer, and things get a bit heated. The Democratic Republic of Congo has thrown down the legal gauntlet, accusing Apple of using conflict minerals like tantalum and tin sourced from conflict zones. They filed criminal complaints against Apple subsidiaries in France and Belgium. Who knew your iPhone could come with such geopolitical intrigue? The DRC alleges Apple is complicit in illegal mineral sourcing that funds violence and forced labor. Apple's toasted claims of rigorous oversight via independent audits are on the grill here, drawing scrutiny from international watchdogs. These minerals are integral to tech hardware, which makes Eastern Congo's instability a global worry. All this has been simmering against Apple's current stock scene too. As of today, the price is slightly down, reflecting possibly this not-so-pleasant conflict minerals ordeal. Whether you're scoping dividend payouts or following international legal bonanzas, there's a lot to chew on when it comes to Apple's round-the-clock narrative. Today's cornucopia of Apple revelations confirms one thing: whether making you rich or mildly panicked, Apple's news presence is never dull. Whether you're counting your Apple stocks or questioning its mineral supply chains, stay tuned, because peace and uproar alike spin around Silicon Valley's crowned giant. All right, tech enthusiasts and financial fanatics, gather around because today's spotlight is shining bright on Toronto Dominion Bank, or TD Bank for short. The news might sound a bit like it's straight out of a Hollywood thriller, dealing with investigations, lawsuits, and crime. Financial crime, that is. So let's break it down. TD Bank is currently embroiled in a serious legal battle on two fronts, with implications that read like a page-turner. At the heart of the issue are allegations regarding the bank's anti-money laundering controls, or lack thereof. TD Bank allegedly allowed money laundering on a massive scale, connected to Chinese crime groups and drug traffickers, funneling proceeds from illicit activities into the banking system. The accusations suggest there were systemic deficiencies lurking in TD's AML program for nearly a decade. Think of it like Swiss cheese, but with far too many holes for comfort. Both Robbins, Geller, Rudman, and Dowd LLP and Rosen Law Firm have jumped into the fray, representing investors who claim they were misled about the state of TD Bank's compliance efforts. According to complaints, despite knowing about these AML shortcomings, TD Bank didn't make the necessary upgrades to its systems, all in favor of pinching pennies. Spooky stuff, right? As you'd expect, this doesn't sit too well with the U.S. Department of Justice or market shareholders, who took a regulation-laden sledgehammer to the bank's stock prices. Earlier this year, the Department of Justice slapped TD Bank with a hefty $3.9 billion fine, the largest in U.S. history for such AML failures. But wait, there's more. They also announced an asset cap to curb TD's expansion in the U.S. This move left investors in shock, and TD's stock price is taking a nosedive after these announcements, dipping by as much as 10%. A bank robbery story where the bank robs itself of its market value. Who would have thought? The deadline is ticking for investors who want to take the lead in this class action lawsuit. It's set for December 23, 2024. That puts undue pressure on investors to move quickly if they want justice and potentially recoup some losses. Both law firms are looking to represent the best interests of these investors and have made it clear that significant financial losses occurred because of what they allege to be misleading statements by TD officials. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this scandal. Are you worried about the state of AML practices in major banks? Or do you see class action lawsuits like these as a beacon of investor protection? Drop your hot takes and brilliant insights in the comments below. Let's get the conversation rolling. All right, let's zoom in on Meta platforms and dive into whether I'd sell, buy, or hold based on today's updates. Remember, folks, while I'm here to provide some entertaining analysis, you should always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Now back to Meta. Looking at the current storm of regulatory fines and legal issues, you might be tempted to hit the panic button and dump the stock. But not so fast. Despite the financial dings from the EU's $264 million fine and the $32 million Cambridge Analytica settlement in Australia, Meta has shown remarkable resilience, flexing its Wall Street muscles with an impressive 80% stock surge year to date. That's like watching your cousin somehow get back up for a third serving at Thanksgiving after 2 plates have already got him groaning. When you combine that resilience with Meta's strong pivot into AI-driven advertising, which analysts are terming the AI story of the next few years, there's plenty to be optimistic about. The demand keeps climbing, as apparently, advertisers aren't too fazed by the legal wranglings as long as the ad placement is driven right into consumers' hearts. So what's a savvy potential investor to do with all these moving pieces? In my non-financial, purely conversational opinion, I'd consider holding on to Meta. Unless you've timed it perfectly and rode the stock's previous wave upwards, holding could allow you to ride future gains driven by their strategic pivots and core business strengths. Of course, with any regulatory keel-hauling giant like Meta, it's critical to watch the horizon for potential future wave crashes. Keep an eyeball on their compliance tweaks and be ready to adjust sail if necessary. Regulators can sometimes swing unforeseen axes. So there you have it. Based on today's news, a hold stance on Meta could be just right, assuming you believe in their ability to weather regulatory setbacks and capitalize on their future technological endeavors. Remember, gang, doing your personal financial reconnaissance is key. Dive into reports, scrutinize strategies, or even check out the latest hot takes from top analysts. Happy investing. Wow, what a whirlwind of market buzz today. We've seen Magnite flexing its muscles with international expansions and fireside insights, while Meta somehow struts confidently despite facing massive fines across continents. Apple is wrestling with financial analysis and geopolitical entanglements in true dramatic fashion, and TD Bank is caught in a legal financial thriller involving some serious crime allegations. Each of these stories paints a picture of tech companies navigating their own unique challenges and successes. If today's tech talk tickled your funny bone or sparked curiosity, smash that like button, subscribe for even more daily tech madness, and share this video with everyone you know. And hey, don't forget to return tomorrow because you don't want to miss our next round of tech headlines, all with a dose of savvy commentary. Stay tech-tuned, my friends.